This place is freaking weird and a little bit scary. On the one hand, I can't wait to get out of here. On the other hand, I can't leave. What was that? Anybody there? Not long ago, we went out to the California desert to chase the sun and the warm weather. You know, one of those quick vacations you pack a lot into. A PGA tournament, a national park, a celebrity home tour, 2 concerts, and also one of the weirdest and strangest places I've ever been to. I'll have to admit, it did freak me out a bit, and no one wanted to go with me. Flying into Palm Springs during the winter when everything's dead and brown and freezing back home is certainly a treat. There aren't many airports like this. Michelle and I come to the desert every year to rejuvenate and visit with our friends Mark and Charlene. Palm Springs, here we are.
Always sunny.
Who set us up on a blind date more than 30 years ago. The Coachella Valley is an oasis in the desert. Palm trees and lakes and golf courses everywhere, surrounded by gorgeous mountains. It's where the stars past and present come to hide out. Okay, we're on the hunt for some of the celebrity homes here in Palm Springs. Most aren't around anymore, but their homes are. There we go. We're in our Chevy Cruze. We just went by, who's was that?
Dean Martin.
Dean Martin's home.
Looks like crap.
Yeah, it hasn't changed in probably 50 years. It got worse there. What are we looking for now?
Marilyn Monroe.
We have trouble finding her home, then spot a celebrity tour bus, so we know we're close. Move that bus. Ah, there it is. Okay, and I want to see Liberace's too.
Liberace.
Yeah.
Liberace.
Enough of that. One of the reasons we come to the desert this time of year is to follow a few other stars. Some of the best golfers in the world. The PGA Tour is in town this week, the American Express. Back in the day, it was called the Bob Hope Desert Classic. And while there's no Tiger to watch this week, we spot a cowboy.
Hey, Ricky.
So we're following Ricky Fowler, you know, OSU cowboy. Boomer!
Sooner.
It's fun to watch, though. He sure is. It's magic watching Ricky early in the second round. Yeah! We followed him for 4 holes. What has he done in 4 holes?
2 birdies and an eagle. Kind of a good round of golf.
Not bad. And the magic doesn't stop. Ricky's entourage keeps growing. Here comes Ricky. Like he's the only golfer on the course. Ricky's on fire. While we're here for the golf, the scenery is the real star. Palm trees and mountains under warm, sunny skies. It's obvious why people, whether they're golfers or not, flock to the desert during the winter. Sorry, back to the golf. As you can see, Ricky's on the tee getting ready to hit. He finishes the second round tied for the lead, but on Saturday, it's another story. Hold that thought. In the hole. Don't you love it when they say that? On a par 5? All right, another day of golf. We're looking for Ricky again, and also Phil. This may be his last day here at the tournament. Who knows?
Yeah, I got to make the cut.
Yeah. All right, let's go find him. We watched another fan favorite for a while, Phil Mickelson, the host of the tournament. He wasn't doing anything. So we're back to following Ricky now. Friday's magic has disappeared for Ricky. It's never good when you're looking for your ball in the water and he drops down the leaderboard. So the Fowler fade on Saturday. Not to be a buzzkill, but after Ricky's roller coaster round, we're ready to light it up, kick up the dust, and crash my party. Sorry, but a few of you will understand. For the others, want me to play it again?
We've been following Ricky all day. We're huge Ricky supporters.
Yeah.
Fans.
Ricky who? Now it's concert time. Every year, this tournament draws big musical acts at the end of the second and third rounds of golf. 2 years ago, Huey Lewis and the Goo Goo Dolls. Tonight, the golf carts are lined up, and nearly 25,000 of us are waiting on the driving range to party with one of country music's biggest stars. And now we're waiting for the Luke Bryan concert tonight. Yeah, last night it was Stevie Nicks, tonight Luke Bryan. And he makes us wait. The sun says goodbye to another day in the desert, and the mountains turn from golden to black before the party begins. Because the weather is almost always ideal, summers though are a bit hot, people are active in the desert. We go on a lot of walks and bike rides passing lakes and palm trees with a backdrop of those gorgeous mountains. Fruit trees are everywhere, oranges, lemons, limes, grapefruit, ready to be picked every morning, from tree to table in a matter of moments. You can't get any fresher than this, how sweet it is. But something stinks in the desert, and more than a little strange, and I can't wait to check it out. I get up long before the sun does one morning and drive to California's largest lake, where many of the biggest stars came to water ski and sunbathe and park their yachts, and families fled the big city for a weekend getaway. I arrive as the sun peaks above the horizon to reveal nothing but ruins, skeleton boats, rusted cars, deserted dirt roads, beaches littered with trash, and boarded up structures covered in graffiti. It has an apocalyptic feel to it. This place is freaking weird and a little bit scary. On the one hand, I can't wait to get out of here. On the other hand, I can't leave. It is a little unsettling, but not that long ago, there were a lot of people who wanted to come here. This exhibit at a museum in La Quinta gives a history of Salton Sea and Bombay Beach. It became a vacation hotspot in the 50s and 60s. Developers built up the shoreline with resorts, hotels, and yacht clubs. People flocked here to fish and swim and sunbathe and boat. But paradise turned to purgatory. Salton Sea had no way for it to drain, and with almost zero annual rainfall and runoff flowing in from nearby farms, the water was polluted with pesticides and became saltier than the Pacific Ocean. That killed off the fish and bird populations and also the resort towns like Bombay Beach. Today, as I drive through this once thriving lakeside resort, I see the result of decades of neglect, scores of discarded homes and trailers in Bombay Beach estates. A treasure trove if you love abandoned places. There's graffiti and other signs of counterculture everywhere. It's difficult at times to figure out what's art and what's rubbish. Over the years, artists have moved in and added to the doomsday allure. For example, it's hard to miss the Bombay Beach Drive-In. Broken and rusted cars lined up and ready to catch the latest Hollywood movie. I have a feeling nothing's played on that screen ever. The beach also has some interesting stuff, like this pirate ship made out of driftwood. Someone put this door and mailbox and chair out here. How about this mannequin torso? Is this art or trash? There's also a distinct odor to this place that stuck with me for a long time. Bombay Beach is not a ghost town. A couple hundred people still live here, and there's a bar, the Ski Inn. At 223 feet below sea level, it's considered the lowest bar in the Western Hemisphere. I decided not to go in. It's probably way too early for it to open anyway. And by now, I'm ready to get out of here and see what my wife and the others are up to.
Today's a spa day, so Shar and I are just hanging out.
I pick the others up and we head for Joshua Tree. I love national parks and this one's different than the others. It's weird like Salton Sea and Bombay Beach, but in a wonderful way. We drive through the park taking in the rugged landscape and boulders and desert plains and odd-shaped trees called the Joshua Tree. Most national parks I've been to have one or two spectacular attractions. Crater Lake's deep blue water, the red rocks and unique hikes at Zion, the Grand Teton's majestic jagged peaks, Yellowstone's geysers and bison, Yosemite's granite cliffs, Rocky Mountains, to name a few. But here in Joshua Tree, it's just miles and miles of wild and unspoiled desert.
I honest to God thought I was going to see like a whole bunch of trees, but Mark informed me that it's just Joshua Tree.
It's not Joshua Trees National Park.
The Joshua Tree, and yes, there's more than one, is a namesake of this national park in the desert east of LA. But it's not the only thing you can see here. During our drive, we take in sweeping basins speckled with scrubrush and gardens of cholla. Then massive rock and boulder formations that can stack up to 100 feet high. And of course, forests of those eerie Joshua trees.
The desert, it just makes you feel so great about yourself. Charlene, you look so good. Thank you.
We only have a few hours, but I can't wait to come back to Joshua Tree to hike and bike and camp, and of course take more pictures of this wonderful place. Maybe during our next visit to the desert, if we can fit it in between the golf and biking, the concerts and sightseeing, the sweet and the strange. All good things must come to an end. We gotta get back to some better weather. The weather here has just been horrendous. Can you believe it? It's January. Wow, about 80 degrees today. Back to Oklahoma. Oh, look at who's here. She made it. I didn't think you were going to make the flight today.
I haven't gotten on yet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping to get bumped.
Oh, really?
Just one more day.
What if you get bumped and I don't get bumped? Hold it. Michelle Bradshaw, you will be on this flight and you are going back to Tulsa. That's what she just said.
Don't forget to go to the bathroom.